It's like a greatest hits collection of missed layups. I can't even believe this is real. I just stumbled across of it. There's 2 different videos now floating around out there, and it's unbelievable.
Angel Reese just made one of the boldest demands in WNBA history: pay me more, or I'm out. But there's one big problem.
She followed up that bold declaration with a performance that had fans wondering if she was auditioning for a home renovation show instead of a basketball game. It wasn't just a bad night, it was a bricklaying masterpiece.
After calling for superstar-level pay on her podcast, Reese hit the court and reality hit back.
She went 5 for 13 in her next unrivaled game. And if you think that's bad, one of those shots didn't just miss, it smacked the bottom of the backboard like it was trying to escape the gym. The timing couldn't have been worse for her argument. Or better for everyone who enjoys comedy.
Because I'm hearing like, yeah, they don't give us, if y'all don't give us what we want, like, we sitting out.
That's a possibility.
I guarantee you, the intelligent folks, and there are plenty in the WNBA, are saying, will you two idiots just shut up? Sit out.
Girl, y'all benefited from everything. Y'all youngins benefited from NIL.
What does that mean? We deserve.
Let's break it down. What happens when a WNBA player tries to pressure the entire league over salary demands? Angel Reese just gave us the answer, and it's pretty entertaining. On her podcast Unapologetically Angel, which, honestly, might need a new name, she and her guest Dejonai Carrington laid out what might be the most unrealistic ultimatum in WNBA history. She didn't just push for better pay, she practically demanded it.
She doesn't get what she wants, she's willing to boycott.
I love how y'all have selective hearing. I said I'm hearing if they don't give us what we want, we sitting out. And that's the truth. Good.
This is the same person that literally said she didn't know what her WNBA salary was and that it didn't even...
Yep, you heard that right. Angel Reese, who has yet to establish herself as a dominant WNBA player, seems to think she has the leverage to shake up the league. But here's the issue. When your entire argument is, I deserve more money.
First thing you can do is turn around and put up a performance that would make even rec league players cringe. And that's exactly what happened. While Reese was busy demanding superstar...
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark has been proving she's worth every penny, setting viewership records, selling out arenas, and, oh yeah, actually making her shots.
Reese was turning layups into viral blooper reels. So, is the WNBA really shaking in fear over this boycott threat? Or is Reese just giving fans another reason to laugh? Stay tuned, because we're about to dive into the most embarrassing highlights, well, lowlights, of Angel Reese's so-called superstar run.
My expectation is to be one of the best players in the world one day. I wouldn't expect anything less than that.
More history for the Fever Rookie!
At this point, continue to be myself, and I think a lot of good will come from that.
The moment Angel Reese stepped onto the court after her bold boycott threat, it was like the basketball gods had a sense of humor. If you're going to demand superstar money, you'd better deliver a superstar performance, right? Well, let's just say Reese's game film from that night looked more like an instructional video on how not to finish at the...
Sykes lofts it up. Reese on the cleanup. Power dribble to separate.
Facing off against Aaliyah Boston's Vinyl Basketball Club in the unrivaled league, Reese had the perfect opportunity to prove why she deserved a bigger paycheck. Instead, she delivered a masterclass in missed layups. We're talking wide-open shots, point-blank attempts, and bunnies that didn't just rim out. They clanked off the backboard like someone forgot to calibrate her shot meter. The timing of this meltdown couldn't have been more disastrous. Just days after claiming her WNBA salary doesn't even pay one of her bills, she put up a performance that had fans wondering if the rent was due mid-game. At one point, it almost seemed like her teammates stopped passing her the ball, maybe out of secondhand embarrassment.
She just threatened the lockout. If y'all don't give us what we want, we sitting out. This is why sometimes you probably should have somebody look over a podcast. She's threatening to go on strike. I actually understand it's the way negotiations work in the CBA.
Let's rewind a bit. Reese is currently on a standard rookie contract, making about $73,000 this year as part of a 4-year, $325,000 deal. But according to her, that's barely enough to cover her expenses. She even went viral on TikTok, venting that the WNBA doesn't even pay one of her bills.
And then she casually revealed she's paying $8 grand per month in rent, which adds up to $96,000 per year, more than her entire WNBA salary.
I just hope y'all know the WNBA don't pay my bills at all. I don't even think that pays one of my bills. Let me do the math real quick.
He might cover that. Yeah, it covers that. It definitely covers that.
What is my, I don't even know my salary.
Listen, nobody's saying she can't live the lifestyle she wants. But maybe, just maybe, if your rent alone is more than your entire WNBA salary, it's not the league that's the problem. It's called budgeting, Angel. But instead of rethinking her approach, Reese doubled down on her boycott threat, hopping onto social media to make it crystal clear that she wasn't just speaking off the cuff. She meant it. She's ready to sit out if her financial demands aren't met.
No, my rent is more than that. It's $8,000. I'm living beyond my means.
Here's where it gets even funnier. One of her biggest complaints? That future rookies.
She also pointed out that USC's Juju Watkins could end up earning more than her in the future. Reese claimed that while this year's rookies are stuck with the current contracts, future players will likely be making much more.
Women coming in, not this year, but next year.
Yeah.
The ones coming this year will still be on the rookie contract again. The ones that the year after, they gonna get more. They probably gonna be making more than us.
Oh, they are.
I'm hurt.
They are. Like, yeah. I've been in the meetings. They are.
It's not injustice, Angel. That's literally how professional sports contracts work. She signed a 4-year rookie scale deal. Even if the WNBA negotiates a new CBA that raises rookie salaries, she's still locked into the contract she signed. That's how every league operates. Imagine if every second-year NBA player demanded a raise just because the salary cap went up. It doesn't work that way.
Like, if I'm an NBA owner, I didn't get rich by wasting a couple million on something that has no chance of making money. These two, sit out. See what happens. Now, I would miss watching the Fever. I would miss watching Caitlin Clark, but I wouldn't.
But here's the reality. The WNBA is still losing around $40 million per year. They're not exactly rolling in NBA-level revenue, and tearing up contracts just because Reese wants a bigger paycheck isn't exactly an option.
Lost 40, 50 million. You know who would clap for you all sitting out? The NBA. So they don't have to subsidize your dumbasses to the tune of 40 to 50 million a year.
But let's get back to what really matters: performance. If you're going to demand special treatment, you better play like an all-star. Instead, Reese is out here missing layups like she's trying to test the structural integrity of the backboard. So, let's get real. If Angel Reese thinks she's too good for her WNBA contract, she might want to start proving it on the court. Because right now, the only thing she's leading the league in is missed layups.
Final as a club has not made a three-pointer. Grace turnaround, no good. Final third in the league in three-point field goals. Reese looks to stick with it, nabs it back. Angel Reese, no.
But here's the problem. The numbers tell a completely different story. Angel Reese talks a big game about how she's one of the faces of the WNBA. But when you actually look at the ratings, it's clear that the real reason people are tuning in has nothing to do with her.
To make matters worse, when Reese played in games without Caitlin Clark on the other side, the viewership numbers dropped dramatically.
Last night, once again, had one of the worst shooting games in the history of planet Earth. For what's supposed to be a big... I mean, what in the hell is going on here? I understand her team won. I get it. 5 of 13 from the field. 13 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds, only 10 points.
It turns out people aren't tuning in to watch Reese miss layups and complain about her paycheck. They're tuning in for actual star power, and we all know who that is. And let's be real. If Reese really was this huge ratings draw, wouldn't her own games be selling out? Wouldn't her jersey be flying off the shelves? Wouldn't people be fighting to get a ticket to see her play? Instead,
Clark is leading the WNBA in attendance, jersey sales, and TV ratings. Meanwhile,
out here acting like she's the one bringing all the attention to the league while shooting 39% from the field and missing layups that would make a middle school coach shake their head.
This is the same player that just came out and said, if they don't pay them the bag in the WNBA, we sitting out. Quote, we sitting out. What? I mean, after seeing her miss routine layups over and over and over again. I'm like, how the hell can this person possibly be demanding more money from anyone?
The missed layup montage that's been making the rounds online is one of the funniest things you'll see all year. We're talking wide open shots, no defenders in sight, and she's still managing to find new and creative ways to brick them. At this point, someone needs to check if the backboard owes Reese money, because she's been punishing it nonstop.
Reese, 3-on-3, part 13, let's get it! Classic long two. Bang! PSA, no rims or backboards were harmed during the filming of this video. But viewers are encouraged to look away. Bang! What? Bang! I heard her say that she might sit out if the WNBA doesn't pay her what she deserves. I say $1 million for every missed layup is fair. Bang! They are stat petting queen properly. Fair wages for all. I repeat, fair wages. Remember, they're coming to see her. Long two, butter pecan. Bang!
The internet, predictably, had a field day. As clips of these missed layups went viral, fans responded with comments dripping with sarcasm. "Pay her, please," and "Give her the max" appeared repeatedly under videos of her bricks. Others didn't hold back, labeling Reese a bricklayer and questioning her offensive skills with comments like, "She is so overrated," and "Reese only one I've seen make a layup look hard."
Guys, how many times have I said she shouldn't be practicing no jumpers from nowhere? I mean, she ought to be just layup after layup after layup. Because let's be real, a lot of the heat she takes is because of this. And it's because it's not to be believed.
But let's get serious for a second. This is not how you prove you deserve more money. Picture this. You walk into your boss's office, demand a raise, and then immediately fumble a simple task that's literally in your job description. That's exactly what happened here. Reese talked about how she deserves a bigger paycheck, and then went out and put up a highlight reel of missed layups. You can't make this up.
Say what you want about Angel Reese. You can't tell me she isn't the star of every show every time she's on the court. I can't even hate on this. She's Larry, Moe, and Curly all at once. The Three Stooges. I mean, wow. Come on. I think the worst part is Lisa Leslie risked her legacy and credibility coaching her with no visible improvement so far anyways. Good God. Laugh out loud. But she gets rebounds. She's threatening leagues over.
While Clark is driving the league's success-packing arenas, shattering viewership records, and delivering star-level performances, Reese is demanding money she hasn't earned. That's the difference between a real superstar and someone who just wants to be treated like one.
Reese might want to reconsider the boycott idea, because after this performance, the WNBA might not even notice if she sat out.
And isn't she shooting like 35% from the field? Can somebody tell me who in the world watches a 35% shooter from the paint that is basically grabbing her own rebounds from her own missed shots?
When measuring star power, social media followers and podcast engagement might seem impressive, but the real test lies in actual viewership numbers. And when it comes to Angel Reese, the numbers tell a story she probably doesn't want to hear. The Unrivaled League, where she currently plays, started off with promise, but interest has plummeted to record lows, dipping below 100,000 viewers. This isn't just a minor decline, it's a dramatic drop-off that suggests fans simply aren't tuning in to watch her play.
Her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. Because she wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off.
The reality of Reese's supposed star power becomes even more questionable when you realize that an unrivaled game featuring her couldn't even outperform a college basketball matchup between UCLA and Nebraska on the Big Ten Network. When a professional league game gets outdrawn by a random college contest, it raises serious concerns about just how much pull Reese actually has. If she's as influential as she claims to be, why aren't people showing up to watch?
Yes, it is unrivaled. It is also unwatched. Look, let's be honest. We can sugarcoat it all you want, but if you don't have Caitlin Clark playing women's basketball, or if you're not the NCAA tournament playing women's basketball, you got nothing. Zero zip.
This lack of interest extends beyond the unrivaled league. WNBA attendance figures tell the same story. Games featuring Caitlin Clark consistently pack arenas, while those headlined by Reese struggle to fill seats. Empty arenas don't lie, and neither do TV ratings. Both make one thing abundantly clear.
Games featuring Caitlin Clark consistently draw huge crowds.
If you really want to go into business, you need to pay some money back. You made absolutely nothing. You haven't really enhanced the league. Caitlin Clark has.
We have to be completely honest about this, whether we like it or not. 90% of this revived or renewed interest is really based around one singular player.
While Reese spends her time focusing on contract negotiations and making demands,
she's the real reason women's basketball is growing in popularity, not Reese.
I'm not huge on comparing the WNBA and the NBA. I don't really think that's fair. Obviously, I think where the WNBA is right now is pretty incredible. I think a lot of people, or most people, would not believe it's in the place that it is right now. So I think when people always ask me this question, where I think it'll be in 5 years, is it's hard for me to answer because people didn't even think we'd be right here, right now. And I think really sky's the limit. I think when you see our TV numbers when we're on, national television, we're averaging over 1 million viewers or whatever it is. The All-Star game, I think, was over 4 million viewers. It's just really great numbers. So the more opportunities we're given, I think the more it's going to shine and get better and better. I think also the talent level in college is continuing to get a lot better, and as those players come into the league, and it's going to continue to improve. We're adding 2 new teams next year, and then probably another team year after that.
Some more games.
Yeah, more games, which I think will be good. It will lengthen the season a little bit more.
Reese threatens boycotts.
Clark also approaches things differently. Instead of acting like the WNBA owes her something, she's grateful for how far the league has come. In a recent interview, she said, "I think where the WNBA is right now is pretty incredible. I think a lot of people, or most people, would not believe it's in the place that it is right now. One player issues ultimatums, the other appreciates the moment."
Funding this league, I'd say, all right, hold on. You got a golden goose. We all got one in Caitlin Clark. These people that are criticizing Caitlin Clark, these people that are hitting Caitlin Clark, these people that are talking as if they are as important as Caitlin Clark are hurting our opportunity.
While Reese demands higher pay, Clark is focused on getting better. Instead of asking for special treatment, she's using the offseason to improve her game and prepare for her second year. She understands that value comes from results, not just hype.
Reese's belief that she's a major viewership draw simply doesn't hold up when you look at the numbers. Meanwhile,
so, who's actually responsible for the surge in interest in women's basketball? The numbers don't lie.
Continue to use my voice to speak for what we want and deserve as a league. Thank you. No, that's not what you did. You said me, I. They're going to get more than us. I deserve more, blah, blah.
Clark continues to dominate in attendance, TV ratings, and merchandise sales. This isn't a fluke, it's a clear trend. Caitlin Clark, not Angel Reese, is driving the league's popularity. The data proves it across every category: ticket sales, viewership, and fan engagement.
Angel Reese ever wake up and realize that? Or will she keep believing her own hype while the world moves on without her? What do you think? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.
The truth about women's basketball's growth is right there in the numbers. One player is making headlines for demanding more money. The other is breaking records and selling out games. As one analyst put it, "If I were an NBA owner, I wouldn't want to miss a Caitlin Clark game." But everything else? Not so much. That sums it up. The future of women's basketball isn't being built on podcast rants and empty threats. It's being shaped by real talent, hard work, and players who let their game do the talking. Fans are making their voices heard with their views, their tickets, and their dollars. And the numbers? They don't lie.